Hello and welcome to the Bearded Hermit. In this week's video, I'm back in the workshop making rough sawn, knotty pine paneling from construction 2x6s. I install this paneling on my bedroom wall, on the second floor, overlooking the deck and the creek to the west. I haul up the 32-inch entry door for installation, but run into a few problems. I got a slow start to this week because I've been nursing a bad back from carrying all the doors and windows to the house. But on a rainy day, I'm in the workshop making my paneling. I take my store-bought 2x6s, 12 feet long, and cut them in half to make two 6-foot lengths. I really don't have too long of runs for the paneling to cover, and this shorter length will be much easier to manage at all the machines. My father was feeling good enough to come out and help a bit, but for now, he's just sitting in his chair, staying warm by the fire. And start ripping the boards in half, making each board 3/4 of an inch thick. This cut is what makes the nice, rough sawn look to the paneling. I have the vacuum hooked up this time to keep the dust down. About the only thing I need to remember when cutting these is not to go too fast. It can easily stall out the blade. It's nice to have everything set up and just leave it. So when I'm ready to make more paneling, all the machines are set just right. Sometimes when doing a project, about half your time is spent just setting up your machines. I move on to the router table to cut the groove side on each piece. My father is sitting at the end to grab and stack the panels as I run them through. This makes the process go much faster. Sometimes the vacuum hose gets clogged. I'll need to buy a new shop vac with a bigger hose to fix this issue. Next, I move on to the tongue side of the boards. I swapped out the router bit and repeat the process. It's always nicer to work with somebody than working alone. The company's nice, and it keeps me on task. Speaking of working with someone, my father needs me to put more wood on the fire. It wasn't hot enough for him, as I'm sweating through my shirt. I drive out all the paneling and throw them up on the second floor. I have my power station and all my tools up here from building this wall, so everything is set up and convenient. I start cutting the boards at a 27-degree angle and work my way up the wall. It's another humid morning, and my camera fogs up again. It has been raining all week, and it feels like 90% humidity all the time. But eventually the sun came out and gave a little relief.
Well, it's a real humid morning out here today. I finally decided to bring a light out here to help me out because it's a dark, sort of rainy, humid morning. And just trying to get this wall panel to install this door for my bedroom. So far it's going pretty good.
I think this will be a great space when finished and very functional. The bedroom's 12 feet by 12 feet. The A-frame roof does cut into this space a little, so I plan to make custom dressers and a custom closet to fit the roof line. The east half of the A-frame will be open cathedral ceiling, so I'll need to put a handrail on the other side of the bedroom. This 12 by 12 bedroom should be able to fit a queen bed, a small closet, a small desk by the window, and 2 custom dressers. I'm working on the exterior wall to the bedroom, facing the creek to the west. This door opens out to the second-story deck. It will also need a handrail, by the way. This deck is 12 feet wide and 8 feet deep. The view from up here is amazing. Looking down on the trees and the creek is so relaxing. In the future, maybe in the springtime, I'll be cutting out all the dead trees and maybe thinning out a few small pines to give myself a better view. I draw lines on the A-frame posts to give myself a reference point as to where the paneling will go to cover the roof line. The wall paneling and the roof paneling will meet here. I try to do my best with using all my cut-off scrap. I don't like wasting any material, especially when I'm the one making it. I panel up and over some of the opening for the window. I'll cut it out later before installation. I bring up some small cutoffs from working on the first floor to panel this narrow space between the door and window. This will most likely be covered by some log trim I plan to put around the doors and window frame. But I still need to put these pieces in here to make the proper spacing. And I continue up the wall. Every once in a while checking for level. I had a hard time getting this last piece installed. I should have had a proper ladder, but I just had this little step stool. The last piece of paneling I installed was really tight to the wall, so the piece I'm trying to put in wouldn't fit on the tongue. I eventually backed the screws out of the board below to make more room, and finally the new piece fit in.
Well, I got all the pine paneling up on this bedroom wall here, leading out to the deck facing west. Next thing I'm going to have to do is go downstairs and bring the door up, and I'm going to install the door. So we'll see how that goes.
I put a ratchet strap around the top of the door and drag it up to the second floor. It was just about too heavy for me, but I did finally get it up here and into position. But after a few minutes, I notice a problem.
Well, I've got the door set in place, but I've got an issue here at the bottom. The door won't go all the way up against the wall at the bottom because I have this temporary floor in here, and this plywood, the jam is hitting this plywood, and it won't go into the room far enough. So I've got this gap here. So I'm not going to be able to install the door tonight. Maybe tomorrow or the next day I'm going to have to slide the door off to the side, and I'm going to have to cut this temporary plywood floor out by about an inch all along here, and then the jamb will sit further back into the room, and it will line up here right along the wall. So once I cut that out, the door frame will sit where it's supposed to. I can put some shims in and run some screws in, and then this door will be installed. So for right now, this is how it looks sitting here, which I think looks pretty good. It's a 32-inch wide door. It has a single hung window in it, so this will slide up and down with a screen on it. And then I have one little window on special order. It needs to go up here, and that'll be it for this wall. It's a really nice night. It was raining all day, but the evening it cleared up. The sun already set, and it's getting dark. Mosquitoes are coming out, so I think it's time to go in.
This week definitely had its challenges. Dealing with a sore back, dealing with all the rain, trying to get that door upstairs without killing myself, having the floor in the way of installing the door. Even with all these issues, progress was made. Little by little, this A-frame cabin is coming together. This is the end of the video. Please stay safe out there, and remember, life can be good sometimes.